Hey out there in YouTube land. It's Friday. You know what that means. TGIF. Thank God I'm free. So I am over in front of a house in Matawan. It's vacant. It needs a lot of work. I came and I walked around this property about 3 months ago. It was listed at $400,000. It was listed as a two-family. I can't get the square feet, but I can't get the square feet anywhere. However, I'm estimating that this house is at least 4,000 square feet. So it was listed as two-family, needs a lot of work, and now I just saw it because for some reason the listing was canceled a couple months ago. And now I just saw it. They dropped it $100,000 and they're now listing it as lot or land for sale. So before I came over here, I called the realtor. I know the realtor because his wife did an appraisal for me on the Hazlitt house about a year and a half ago. Anyway, so I was BSing with him. And I said, has anybody gone down to the town to see if there's anything out of the ordinary from the town? And he said, no, not necessarily. He said, but it's really a knockdown. That's what he said. And he said, if I had more money, because all my money's tied up, what I would do is the lot is subdividable. Whether or not he knows that, we don't know. The lot is subdividable because it's about a half acre, and you should have enough room to knock the one down and build two new houses. Well, that got my creative juices flowing. So I get into my car, and I start running numbers in my head. Now, I never built new before, so these are just guesstimates. So I start running numbers. Well, let's say you get the house for $300,000. You knock it down. It's going to cost you another, $50,000 for site prep. As far as knocking the house down, bringing the second set of utilities in to build another house. Now, so you're into it for $350,000. What's it going to cost for my lawyer to go down and get the subdivision? My head starts spinning with that. Is that another $25,000? I'm just guesstimating, so $25,000, let's say. So $375, you're into it, right? Let's say just closing costs, other costs, actually getting a sewer line, the other utilities onto the property so that you can build new. Let's just say for simplicity another $25,000. So what are we up to right there? We're up to $400,000. The lot is level and it's ready to be built. At $400,000, what's it going to cost to build two new houses? Well, on this size of a lot, you could probably build two decent-sized houses. Again, these are just right off the top of my head numbers. Is it going to cost $250,000 to build each house for another $500,000? We're all in at $900,000. What can you sell two houses for here in Matawan that are brand new? You could probably... Can you get $600,000 each, just off the top of my head? Possibly. Let's say $600,000 each, $1.2 million. You were into it for $900,000. There's some surprises that came up. You got carrying costs, you got, exit costs, all those kind of things. How long does this thing take to get to fruition? A year? So you got a year's worth of carrying costs and everything else. Let's say another $100,000, just to be on the safe side. $100,000, carrying costs, miscellaneous costs, surprises. You're into it for $1 million, and you could possibly make $1.2 million. So you got a $200,000 profit out there. Initially, it sounds like, man, that's a home run. To me, it gets me nervous. That's still a lower profit margin than I would need to get excited. Because, for instance, let's say I said $250,000. There's a builder out there that says, you know what? Hey, $250, that's too low. It's really going to be $350. So you're cutting into that $200,000 profit by $100,000. Now you're down to $100,000. And then the township, they drag their butt, and you can't even get started on construction for 6 months after you purchase this thing. So now instead of 12 months of carrying costs, you got 18 months of carrying costs. You get my point there. That $200,000 cushion on that outlay of cash, I'm not getting that excited about it. So I thought of another way to go on this. Well, first, let me show you what the house looks like. So this is the side. This is a lot that goes along with the house. It's a two-story. It was built in 1908. It's probably asbestos siding on it. So, I'm a realist. Am I going to say that it should be knocked down? No. Because I'm not a knocker downer. I've had houses where people have said, hey, that house has to be knocked down. And it's provided beautiful, clean living for families where I make a decent amount of money each month with rent, and they get to live in a house that was once deemed knocked down. So that led me to my next train of thought. I gotta show you the backyard. You're not supposed to be walking on the property according to the listing. Don't be walking on the property, don't be going inside the house. It's too unsafe with the floors. And am I a rule bender? I guess so. Let me show you the backyard. So this is the backyard. This is the other lot over here. There's my car, hey car. So that's the empty lot. Goes down to a ravine, which leads out to a lake. I don't know if you can see that lake back there. So can some of the shrubs, overgrown trees and stuff be taken down so you can get a lake view? Most definitely. This is the back of the house. This sucker is huge, huh? That's why I said it's probably at least 4,000 square feet. You can't get all of the answers up front. You like there's always unknown factors out there when you're going to buy, and that's why everybody doesn't do this, because there's a you have to have a risk tolerance that's higher than normal, and I think I have that risk tolerance. With that being said, I still do as much homework as I can in order to get as many answers as I can on a house. So in this particular one, I came over earlier, took a look at it. I ran the numbers as I was just going over right off the top of my head with you guys about building new, subdividing everything else on this house. And then like a brainstorm came in. Hey Harry, you've had houses where they've said they gotta be knocked down, and you renovated them, and they're beautiful now. They're structurally sound, you got families living in there, so what about this one? So I start running numbers. $300,000 purchase, leave the house as is. Can you put $125,000 into it? 125, 150 into it? What would it be worth? 4,000 square feet with a lake view? I don't know, just off the top of my head, that size of a house, completely renovated, I'm gonna say $700,000. So let's do the numbers out loud like I just did. $300,000 purchase price. Let's say $150,000, $450. Let's say another $50,000 closing costs, carrying costs, miscellaneous. $500. Could you sell it for $700? I think you could. Now I'm sure I'm missing something here. I mean, there's other costs and stuff like that. But now I got a $200,000 spread. Now I got a $200,000 spread with less than half the money outlaid. It just makes sense. But wait. It might get even better. First of all, I'm not going to tell the realtor if I go to put an offer in on this piece of property. I'm not going to necessarily tell the realtor that I'm not going to subdivide it and go through all that. Possibly after it came out of attorney review, but I don't want to give anybody else these thoughts. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking to myself, but wait, it might get better. Let's say I could do what I just said. Let's say I could renovate this thing for under $150,000, put it back out to the market for $700,000. Well, what if while I'm renovating it, I still have my attorney go down and try to subdivide this lot, and the placement of the existing house is in such a position where I can possibly get a variance and keep the other lot as a buildable lot? Oh, Harry. I don't know if that could happen, but that's the way I think. So I went to the town. I talked to the realtor. I'm going to run some more numbers as far as comps. When I was down at the town, I got the guy that's been out to this property from the township. I'm going to pick his brain, but he's on vacation till the 10th. And then we'll go from there. I'll tell you what happens. But man, that would be nice. I mean, this house would be beautiful. 4,000 square foot renovated house on the lake. Come on.